Hey guys, it's Carl Brown for GuitarLessons365.com. Today we're going to continue our look at the Unforgiven by Metallica. So I'm going to cover pretty much all the other rhythm guitar parts and the clean lead guitar parts here. So in the first lesson we covered that acoustic intro with the finger picking done by James Hetfield. So make sure you've got that under your fingers. And then we're going to take a look at all the parts that go over that and the additional heavy rhythms and Kirk Hammett's little clean solo that leads into the main guitar solo, which we've already covered. So let's take a look here. We're going to start with that first melody. So when James Hetfield's playing that opening acoustic part, we have this over it. Alright, so the second half of that was the same thing that he does over the chorus when James Hetfield goes back down to the acoustic guitar lines. So you'll have that underneath your fingers as soon as you cover this intro as well. So let's start here. We're going to go 2, 4 on the G string, pick that 4 again, and slide into 5. Then just descend 5, 4, 2. Now we're going to start again the same way, but this time just go 5, 2. So all together. And just repeat that. Alright, and now we get to the part that's actually the chorus of the song. That's obviously the second half of the intro. And that's same thing, 2, 4, slide into 5, then pick that a couple times. That's 5, 5, 5, 4, over to 5 on the D string. Then pick the 4th fret on the G and slide it down, and then grab the 2nd fret on the D. Back to the G string, 2, hammer 4, back to 2. So all together so far? Alright, then we continue, starting with the same lick, 2, 4, slide into 5, then we have this. That's hammering quickly 3 to 5 on the B. Pick that 5 a couple times, back to 3, over to 4 on the G. Then replace that second finger with your first finger and pick 4 and slide down to 1. Then slide into 4, back to 1, then shift up to the 2nd fret, hammer 4, back to the 2. So I'll do that slow. Okay, now the next thing that we have coming is the verse of the song, which is on a heavy guitar tone. But for Metallica standards, it's a pretty easy rhythm guitar part. So let me play for it real quick. Alright, so that takes us back into the chorus. So it's pretty easy. We're just going to have the open A string with the 12th fret on the D, then 10 on the D. So let's just learn the notes on the D string real quick. 12, 10, 9, 10. So while we're playing those, we're going to have the open A with it. And then we're going to come over to the low E string open and the 10th fret there on the A string. Then we're going to do a couple of just downstrokes there, muted downstrokes on the low E string. And then we're going to come up to this. So what's going on there, we're going to have 12 on the G string, play twice, and 11 twice on the G, but while you play those two notes, the open D string is with it. And then reach over to the 10th fret now on the D string and the open A with that. And to start it all over, a couple of muted downstrokes for this time on the A string. So I play it very slowly, the whole thing. Alright, so out of that, after we've done that like 4 times, well, the entire part twice, we're going to go into this little pull-off lick that sounds like this. So that's just pulling off 10 on the D string to the open D, with 2 palm muted downstrokes on the A string. Do the same thing now, but it's 9 on the D, and then 7 on the D, and 5. So it's the same lick, just played 10, 9, 7, 5. Into the 3rd fret power chord off the A string. And you're going to have a quick little hammer on, a little legato thing. Hammer 3 to 5, pull back off the 3, pull off to the open, to the power chord on the 3rd fret off the low E string. Back to that lick. And then you're going to end it with the low E open, and then going into the chorus with that A power chord, and that fades out, and then you get to the quiet chorus with the acoustic guitar parts. All right, so while I still got this tone, this heavy tone on here, let's take a look at the solo rhythm here. Now that sounds like this. Alright, so it's got that familiar little pull-off sequence at that riff in there. So we've already covered that, so let's cover what we did in the first half of the solo, which is basically just open A power chord, to the power chord off the 3rd fret of the A string, the low E power chord. So far, a little down up muted, and then power chord at the 5th fret off the A string 4 times, then the open A power chord twice, and then another one of those mutes. So all together. Repeat. Now after that second repeat, we have a little bend, the 4th fret on the G string, half step, bend and release twice. And then we're back to the riff. And then we go to that pull off. And that familiar pull off riff. All right, so the only other thing we need to cover here, since we've done the main guitar solo, is that clean guitar solo that leads into that section. So let me take a look at this part. I played it at the beginning here, so let me play the first phrase for you. I'm going to take a look at this note for note. All right, so we're there at the 7th fret on the D string, 7 on the D, 5, 4, 7 on the G. Back to 5. Quick little hammer pull between 4 to 5, back to 4 on the G. To 7 on the D, back to that 4 on the G. Play this. And then you can end it playing the 5th fret, slid into the 7th fret on the D. Next phrase. So that's probably a hammer on there at the end. So we have basically the high E open string always being played with each note. So you're going to play that, kind of hybrid pick it, pick that with your middle finger, and you're going to have on the left hand here, 7th fret on the D, 5 on the G, 7, 9, 7, 5, and then hammer 5 to 7. See how I slid into that 9. So let's put that with that open E. Pretty cool effect there. The next phrase. All right, so we're gonna have 7th fret on the G, 8th on the B. Pick those two together, slide it up 2 frets, and slide back down to the place you started. Now you're gonna pick the double stop across the 7 on the G and the 7 on the B. Then you're gonna do a quick little hammer on from 7 to 9 on the G, back to 7, to 9 on the D, 10 on the A. I'm sorry, missed a couple notes there. Do that little hammer, 7, and then it goes 10, 9 on the D. And then you descend 7 on the G, 9 on the D, 10 on the A. From there we have this phrase. All right, so we're starting 3-5 on the low E, then 3 on the A, shift up to 5, 6, 7, to 5 on the D, to 5 on the G, and then quickly hammer 5 to 7 on the D, and pick that 7 again. Next phrase. And that's going to be the end of the solo here. So we have, that's 8 on the B, then quick hammer pull 7 to 8, back to 7, to 9 on the G, 7, 8, 10 on the B, to 7 on the high E, to 8 on the B. Let those two ring together. So you pick across those two notes twice. And then we're going to kind of start this kind of ascending lick, which is slide into the 8th fret on the B, play 10 on the high E, then the same thing 2 frets up. So see there, you went back to that B string. Now repeat that lick 2 frets up, 2 more frets up, and then this time you're going to slide to 14 to 15 now on the high E, back to the 14 on the B string, and end it with that 17th fret on the high E string. Alright, so that takes care of all the parts for the Unforgiven. We have the first video where it does all the fingerstyle acoustic parts played by James Hetfield. And then we have this one that covers all the other rhythm guitar parts and the clean solo parts, and that big guitar solo that this leads into what we just finished is in a third lesson. Alright, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon for GuitarLessons365.com.